You seem to care a bit too much about what strangers who you're meeting for the first and last time care about you. This is real life, and not everybody can be 100% of the time nice to you. You can't shut them up just because their opinion is not the same as your opinion. Patriarchy and all of that shit. Join me in the war for sanity.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
Hello, people on the internet. It's me again. I'm back. If you've noticed that I was gone, I just finished my last and only exam, so now I can dedicate all of my time to you! Also my dissertation. Mainly my dissertation, but also you guys! And we're only 12 subscribers away from 100. Like, wow, I never thought I would even get 50, nevertheless 100. So I will probably do something special for 100 subscribers. Maybe a special video with Bentley, maybe I'll do a giveaway of some sort. You tell me, give me suggestions below. Now, I was gonna make a completely different video today. I was gonna talk about Shuregina again. Yes, because I promised to myself that if they're gonna try to make her famous again, I will have to talk about it. But it will have to wait, because the world has gone completely cuckoo. So you've probably heard the story, you've probably clicked on this video just because it is about the story. A plus-size model was fat-shamed on a plane, and girl, did she tell that man off. That awful, horrible, fat-shaming men. Ugh, disgusting creatures. Let's get a little bit serious and rational. First of all, I would like for everybody to take off their pretty pink glasses and look at this world with some rationality. There are only two genders. The wage gap doesn't exist. Rape culture doesn't exist either. Being obese is unhealthy and not good. Oh, and feminism isn't needed in the Western world. All good? No? Then you should probably leave. Like, now. Leave. For those who are still here, congratulations! You are sane. Now, if you know me, you'll know that I'm not afraid to speak up my opinion. But that doesn't mean I go around insulting people. While doing research and replying for comments for this video, I have not insulted a single person. However, I was called so many fucking names. But you know, this is what happens. If a story is made public, every single person has the fucking right to comment on it and express their opinion. You can't shut them up just because their opinion is not the same as your opinion. Unfortunately, people today don't always use any rational thinking and common sense. All they care about is their feelings and how oppressed they feel in today's sexist society, you know? Patriarchy and all of that shit. For those who don't know about the situation itself, let me tell you. So this plus-size model was flying to LA domestically, and honestly, her company should have booked her 2 seats because she made the person sitting next to her, next to the window, very, very uncomfortable. And instead of confronting her directly or telling the flight attendant that he would like to change his seat, instead of making a scene out of it, he decided to privately text his friend on the phone. What did the model do? She decided it is acceptable to fucking look at other people's text messages, take a picture of them, and post them online publicly in order to humiliate the poor guy. I honestly do not understand how people can even be on her side. It does not fucking matter what size she is, how fat she is, how obese she is. It doesn't matter. She behaved like an arrogant bitch. Nobody has the fucking right to look at your text messages. Not even your fucking partner, not even your mother, not your father, not your sister, nobody. This is your personal fucking life. And especially you don't expect a stranger sitting next to you on the plane to look over your shoulder at your private messages. I'm sorry, you could be sexting, you could be sending dick pics, you could be receiving pictures of your naked wife, and it's none of their business. It is your phone. And I know I can speak up for the situation because I have been on so many flights. I have flown at least 100 times in my life. I've been flying since I was a baby, constantly, all the time, back and forth. So I know how it feels being on a plane sitting next to somebody who you feel uncomfortable with, and I know how it is sitting on a plane next to somebody who knows that it is acceptable to, have private conversations in public, because people, don't usually listen in or read other strangers' conversations. For example, I have been on a plane and I had probably a businessman or some office worker, somebody who has business to do, sitting next to me. He was on his laptop in front of me, and a laptop computer screen, it's fucking bigger than an iPhone's, okay? So it's a little bit harder to avoid it, especially if you're sitting on the window seat like this guy was sitting, and the guy who was using the computer was sitting in the middle seat. You kind of have nowhere else to look apart from the window or the computer. And guess what? I haven't looked intentionally at his computer, not even once. My eyes probably passed it when I was looking at the flight attendant or something like that, but I have never intentionally stared at the guy's computer screen to see what the fuck he's doing here and whether he's talking about me or writing a story about me or what have you. It doesn't fucking matter. It's his personal life. This is the first and last time I'm gonna see this guy. Why should that fucking matter? And honestly, for such a confident, strong, and beautiful woman, this is what this Natalie model girl is calling herself, a confident, strong woman, you seem to care a bit too much about what strangers who you're meeting for the first and last time care about you. You seem to just care too much. Why? This guy, he's not your father, he's not your partner, he's no one. He just sat next to you on a plane and this is the last time you're gonna see him. Why are you trying to humiliate him? Oh wait, I know why! You got your 5 minutes of fucking fame, didn't you, bitch? Now, I know I'm being mean, but I'm sorry. When somebody behaves like a bitch, I'm gonna call them a bitch. In this situation, she behaved like a total bitch. She's probably not a bitch all the fucking time, but that specific situation, she filmed it, she showed it to us, she was a fucking bitch. I was a bitch sometimes as well. People called me a bitch, and I agree with that. I sometimes allow myself to be a bitch because some people don't treat me right, so they deserve to be treated like fucking assholes. So I treat them like I am a bitch. There's not an issue with that. This is real life. Grow up. We're not in kindergarten. We're not stuck sharing toys and having to be nice to each other. This is real life. And not everybody can be 100% of the time nice to you, especially when they're stuck on a plane sitting next to a person who should have gotten 2 seats but only has 1 seat. Another thing is, Natalie, this girl, she's trying to justify herself because she got herself a seat with more legroom, the aisle seat that leads to the emergency exit. Now listen, I have been on an A320. I have flown on that plane, and I know how these seats look like. I actually sat in the emergency exit row because my legs and my partner's legs were very tall people, so we do not want to make anybody who is in front of us uncomfortable by pushing our knees into their back. So we got ourselves the emergency exit seats. And you know what? Those seats are narrower than a normal seat in order to have a bit more space in the aisle itself for people to gather up there to go into the emergency exits. So she, instead of getting herself 2 normal seats, actually got herself a narrower seat to squeeze in. And have you seen her? I'm sorry, but she is beautiful, yes, but it's not gonna cancel out the fact that you're 3 times bigger than a normal human being. And it's not gonna cancel out the fact that you should be getting 2 seats and not complaining about anybody who makes any comment about you. Especially if that comment was not even directed at you. He said nothing to you whatsoever, but you decided to shame him. If that was me, instead of that guy, if I was in his place, and she have decided that it is okay to look at my personal conversation when I'm texting next to her, I'm sorry, I would have told her directly. You did what? You looked at my private fucking conversations? I'm not apologizing for anything. You apologize for reading my conversations. Otherwise, I'm gonna complain to the airline that you have no common fucking courtesy. And you should not be flying on public airlines. Now, if the rational people are still here right now giving me dislikes and writing comments about what a hateful bitch I am and oh, I'm so horrible and oh, I am a woman, I should stick with women. No, I am a human, first of all, not a woman. You know, when I was reading comments online, I never once looked at the person's name. Because I don't care what gender they are, I don't care what nationality they are, I don't care what their name is. All I care is their opinion that they're discussing with me about on the matter. So, no, I'm not gonna stick with her just because I'm a woman and I have a vagina. I am not, because she is wrong in this situation and the guy had every right to text whatever private messages he wanted. He did not post it on Twitter like she did, or on Instagram like she did, or on Facebook like she did. It would have been a completely different situation if he was actually speaking on the phone to his friend and saying like, oh, I hope you didn't eat any Mexican food, ho 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 ho, and oh, I'm gonna have my neck pressing against the window and leaving a mark, ho 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 ho. Well, it's not like that, because he was texting and she herself said that he was attempting to, well, you know, move the phone in a way that she can't see it. But no, she sat there with her big body like that, waiting for a moment with her phone, waiting to snap a picture of his fucking text, going like, ah, gotcha right there, you bastard. Now I know you're fat shaming me even though you were having a private conversation. Which he could have had after the flight as well. And what would she have done then? Is it shaming as well when he would have had a private conversation in some other public place, but she would have been standing a meter away from him and not be able to see the fucking conversation? No, because it is not shaming, okay? I'm sorry, it is not shaming. Everybody is allowed to have their own fucking personal opinion. He did not come up to her and say, yo, you should go seat in a different aisle because I cannot fit in the seat while your body's spilling into my seat. And he did not stand up in the middle of the plane and went like, yo, everybody, this bitch is not letting me sit comfortably because she's too fat. He did not do that. He did not. He texted privately, tried to turn his phone away, but you made every single attempt to take a picture of his conversation in order to get your 5 minutes of fame and shame him. Bitch, are you happy now? Are you happy? Because I hope that Eric, that guy, goes to the airline, gets a refund, goes to court if there is a law in America regarding private information and, you know, some kind of privacy. He'll go to court, sue your ass, and since you're such a successful model, I think you will have no issue at all with repaying him for the money that you owe him now. And also, a public apology would be quite fucking helpful, you know? Let's get this clear again. What she has done is so much worse than what he has done. Yes, maybe he was in the wrong, maybe he shouldn't have been texting in front of her, maybe he should have waited until the flight is over, but what she has done is take pictures of him, immediately post them online publicly for thousands of fucking people to see, start humiliating him. Even after he apologized, she continued on fucking ranting onto him, going like, I have a very large social media, I work out 5 times a week, how can you know what I can and can't do? Bitch, you know how many times a week I work out? Zero. And you know how I look? Not obese. Magic, isn't it? For those who still don't get it, let me visualize it for you. Here is what the man has done. He sat quietly, he texted a friend, he had a private conversation, he apologized for her even though she should have been the one to apologize for reading his private text messages, and he gave a constructive argument back to her. What did she do? She didn't book 2 seats like she was supposed to. She was completely aware that she is making him very uncomfortable. She booked a narrower seat than a normal airplane seat. She looked at the stranger's private text messages. She took photos of him without consent. She took a video of him without consent. She told the whole world about his private conversations, And she did get his face in the fucking shot and told his name out to the world. She posted those photos online and videos online, and she tried to fucking humiliate him. Oh, and she behaved like a total fucking arrogant bitch with no common courtesy. You know what's the problem with sharing those kind of stories? This kind of behavior is promoted. And when this behavior is promoted, people start behaving this way because they think it is okay to behave this way. And then it's us, the sane people, who have to live in a society, in the same world as these arrogant assholes. We are the ones who have to suffer, not them. Those arrogant assholes will think that they're right. Like chickens, they will just walk around and lay a fucking egg and go "Papa," and think that they're fucking right. But I'm sorry, they're not right. And us, the sane and rational people, have to live in the society with those arrogant assholes. This is my fucking issue. Now, I have been online all Monday and Tuesday researching comments that were specifically put on that model's personal page on that video and the photos. And I've collected some of the best ones for you, which we're gonna look at right now. Most of these are rational, most of these are the ones that I agree with, but trust me, what the irrational people reply to the rational comments with their arguments is just ridiculous and totally worth it. I know this video is gonna be way too long, but trust me, please, it's worth it. Now, why did I mainly pick the comments which are rational and what people comment on them? Because the other comments which are just specifically directed to her, they all sound the same. It's like, oh, you're such a hero! Oh, you're so brave! You showed that man! Oh, so nice of you to do that! Thank you for sharing it! Oh, so fucking cringy. Ugh, so cringy. And I'm also gonna show you how those people try to destroy me on the comments that I have left on those news articles and her page, which is also gonna be fucking hilarious. Now let's get started, shall we? I am currently with a medical doctor sitting by my side. You are morbidly obese. It sucks to be shamed for being a certain way. I get it. Rather than trying to defend your unhealthy lifestyle, you should focus on being healthy. Your rant against the man was attention-seeking. There is a reason why there are no huge people like you in starving countries. You eat too much, period. Actually, poverty is a leading cause of obesity. Veggies are way more expensive than mac and cheese. This clearly has nothing to do with this model, but everything to do with your statement. Lack of money for food makes you fat. You've heard it here first, folks. Actually, young lady, low-quality processed carbs are probably what you're talking about. Sorry you don't get fat from lack of food. Clearly, you have not been around the world to places where poor people don't eat Western processed products. You clearly knew what April meant. He was a shitty person and she was nosy, and that's rude. He's still a shitty person. You state that you're sitting with a medical doctor. Are you a doctor? Are you an expert in the medicine? And more importantly, are you her doctor? If no, then you should keep your medical opinions to yourself. You sound like an overly opinionated bully to me. Just saying. I may be very well an over-opinionated bully, but I disagree. I don't post videos shaming people online, but if I did, I would have to accept the public criticism. Our obese videographer opened her can of worms. She promotes her obesity as some kind of generic trait, like having dark skin or blue eyes. She then shames a man who was frustrated texting to his body because her huge size was negatively impacting his seating experience. It's a shame that she saw his text, but that doesn't justify what she did. Obesity is a lifestyle choice. Is there a rare medical condition that causes you to somehow absorb mass out of thin air? To me, it all goes in through your orifices. You need to consume at least 50 pounds to gain 50 pounds. All that mass on her body got there through her mouth. She wasn't born that way and left to suffer because of it. You know, I completely agree with that person. It is not a medical condition that caused you to gain fat. You became fat and that's why you have a medical condition now. I could have been fat, you know, I weighted at least 20 kilos more than I weigh right now at one point when I was a teenager. You know what I did? I stopped eating, but mainly I left my grandmother's house because she was the one feeding me, but yeah, I stopped eating that much. I just ate lower qualities of good, not processed, not bad food, and oh, holy shit! I'm not fat and I don't need to buy 2 seats on an airplane! Miracle! So, you felt fat-shamed because you invaded someone else's privacy and responded by attempting to shame the guy for having a private conversation you invaded? You're an idiot. This is hypocrisy attempting to distract from your feelings. Just because you're a model only shows how Americans coddle our problems into being cute little disorders instead of dealing with them as problems to be dealt with. Yeah, that's right, it's his fault for texting, not your problem for overeating and not exercising. And yeah, you go, girl, go get on a treadmill. Your inner asshole is showing and no one wants to see that or hear you spout out more shit than you defecate in a day. In closing, shut the fuck up and eat a bag of dick, you weird pedophile looking creeper. And you wonder why you are single, Mr. Moon. To which then Mr. Moon replied that yeah, that's why he's single, and he told a story that his deceased wife has taught him and his daughter about priorities in life and how to feel strong and confident about yourself, and that strong, confident women don't have the need to look at other people's text messages and don't feel the need to care about what other people think about them. And what this guy got as a reply just shocked me. Good for her. I'm glad she finally escaped a life of servitude and imprisonment with a dried up douchebag dick licker like yourself. Great fucking argument, very constructive, and this is why this world is going crazy and I do not want to live on this planet anymore.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I'm sorry this happened to you, but I just want to say that hearing you calmly and politely read this asshole into the ground was very uplifting. Calmly and politely. Calmly and politely. Were we watching the same video? I think you're on the wrong page. While I have nothing against you personally, in all fairness, you should have not been allowed to sit in an exit row. It is actually an FAA law. Everyone handicapped, elderly, or obese that are not able to operate, fit the exit door and get it through while assisting passengers in an emergency evacuation are not allowed to sit in an exit row. The agent who gave you this seat assignment and the flight crew dropped the ball. They should have never allowed you to sit there. I really hope they did, because that is true. She should have not been allowed to sit there. Check your assumptions. How exactly do you know what she is capable of doing? Yeah, she works out 5 times a week. Clearly you haven't been paying attention. You know, I can say that as well. I can say I eat McDonald's every single day. But are you gonna believe me? No, because I do not look like a whale. She will say that she works out 5 times a week. Whatever she calls working out, that yoga bullshit, that's not working out, okay? Get on a fucking treadmill and start sweating. That's working out. And honestly, it's true, she should have not been sitting in the exit seat. I'm pretty sure it would have been much harder for her to just exit the plane, and helping people exit the plane at the same time, well, this is crazy. No, she would have killed everybody. If it was an emergency, she would have fucking killed everybody. They would have had to use the other exit on the other side because she would have blocked one of them. Both of these adults behave like children. The guy for making fun of an overweight person is immature, and the girl for peering over his shoulder and snapping pictures of his phone isn't too far behind. Let's face the facts here. This guy will more likely never change, but he honestly isn't really hurting anybody that isn't already damaged. She, on the other hand, can change. Eating right, exercising correctly, and avoiding denial. Being obese is not beautiful. It's not anything to applaud. Let's be honest with each other. As brave as this girl is, she needs to change her lifestyle for her own benefit. This country has an obesity problem that we should not ignore nor make fun of. Let's grow up, people. Oh yeah, let's not take away phone privacy in the process. Thank you. And to that, this one girl who actually have been commenting on like every single post that doesn't agree with her opinion, posts this picture of a news article that says, "Men under false impression his opinion actually matters." Well, bitch, your opinion doesn't matter either. Just FYI. He's as much of a person as you are, so if his opinion doesn't matter, your opinion doesn't matter double than that because you are being rude. Let's be honest, Victor is a mansplainy bro flake. Whatever that means. Nothing is private when you do it in front of someone, Victor. Yes, it is. I am allowed to be on a bus and text and still expect people not to look at my phone conversations, just like I'm not looking at their phone conversations. What about the rights of others? I want as many people to know about this kind of bullshit fat people go through just for existing. There are people who feel that they have to suffer your bullshit, words you used, by having super large people struggle in tight quarters. Two sides to every story. I've had people up to 450 pounds sit next to me. Where are my rights of comfort and safety should I need to get off the plane in an emergency? Exactly. I mean, when somebody who is much bigger than me sitting next to me on a flight, I can't even go to the bathroom. Nevertheless, think of how to escape a plane in case of an emergency. I just prepare to die, honestly. I can't believe he apologized. He has nothing to apologize for. He can say whatever the bloody hell he likes to a friend about anything he likes. Fair play to him for keeping his cool and not telling her to mind her business. How dare she tell him what he can and can't text, email, message in private? Totally agree. She has no fucking right to tell him what to message and what not to message. It's his fucking right. You and this man are cut from the same garbage fabric. If I hear about someone shaming me on my disability and I get proof, I would take the bastard to court. People who hate on her must have low self-esteem. They can piss off. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that she is the one with low self-esteem if she cares so much what a person says about her in a private fucking conversation. Not even publicly, privately. I mean, I do not give a shit what people say about me publicly. I've been called a cunt while doing this. And I don't care because it doesn't matter. I'm never gonna meet these people. It doesn't fucking matter. There's 8 billion people in the world and 8 billion different opinions. Am I gonna fucking dedicate 8 billion fucking pieces of my feelings to them? No, I don't care. I don't care. Not to worry, you're gorgeous. To a Japanese whale hunter, maybe. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's hilarious. Since I'm being so awful here, I think this fits me quite well at the moment. Hey guys, so the video turned out to be way too freaking long, so I'm probably gonna divide it either into 2 or 3 parts. Either way, if you're watching this right now, just click down there for the next part. Thank you. Sensei. Excuse me.